Hey guys, Nolar here, back on the 5-9 Gaming Network to talk to you about the World Flipper and its global release. Now, I'm going to cover the history of the game, the art style, the gameplay, the gacha elements, as well as the issues and controversies surrounding the global release of this game. But before we dive right in, if you're looking for more mobile gacha news content, hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button if you want to tell us how good we're doing here. And on top of that, give us your comments down below to let us know what your thoughts are on World Flipper. Let's dive right in. World Flipper is developed by Cygames, known for Grand Blue Fantasy, Dragalia Lost, and of course the reigning gacha game of the year, Uma Musume. Kakao Games, a Korean company, is the publisher to bring this pinball gacha to the global stage. The game has been out on JP for nearly 2 years and has been massively hyped by the people who have managed to try it out beforehand. The story of the game takes part in traditional chapter-like gacha styles. The premise of the story is you and your companion are traveling through various worlds through the World Flipper. Each chapter has its own self-contained story, so overall all the chapters are anthologies. For instance, in chapter 1, you're in a fantasy forest fighting enemies there. But fast forward to chapter 3, where you use the World Flipper and manage to appear in a pirate ship. That's as far as I've gotten at the time of this recording. Either way, the story presentation itself is pretty awesome and compelling. It's not static PNGs with words going back and forth. There are some animations with a chat dialogue so you understand what's going on. Speaking of the art, I believe the high-quality pixel art style is in vogue at the moment. Upcoming gacha games like Revived Witch and current independent titles like Octopath Traveler are highly praised for their art style, and World Flipper is no exception. The actual gameplay has the old-school pixel art that I miss from my youth. Maybe it's the boomer in me, but I really do like the look of it. Even on the summoning animations, when a new unit pops up, you get the animation of the unit itself in its pixel art style, followed by the well-done 2D hand-drawn art. Again, this reminds me of Fire Emblem Heroes or Dragalia Lost, which for the latter makes sense since Cygames also develops that game. Now, let's get to the part that is the most compelling part of this game, the actual gameplay. The boomer in me has played a ton of pinball games in the past, and I've thoroughly enjoyed them. Combine a rich RPG-style progression system with the fast arcade-style action of pinball, and you've got an addicting combination. I started the story, and then 3 hours flew by so fast. So you take in 3 primary characters and then 3 sub-characters with 1 piece of equipment preparing into battle. Like most gacha games, you're either going through multiple stages or fighting one major boss, and you have the typical elemental wheel. Fire beats grass, grass beats lightning, and lightning beats water, while water beats fire. Of course, dark and light are mutually effective against each other. The main characters are your actual pinballs, and when you hit the enemies, your character's stats are what do the damage to the enemies and the bosses. Of course, each character has their own gauge for the skills, which can be unleashed in satisfying combos. Playing manually is actually quite fun, and something I look forward to doing when I can play. Again, as for gacha, there is an auto function, and the AI knows how to play better than you 99% of the time. But I don't feel like this game is an auto snooze fest that other gacha games of this style can be. Mostly because to me the auto exists for farming materials or actual stages, but if I want to get that high of playing, I can just experience it myself at any point. With that said, it's actually kind of hypnotizing to see the AI manage to get the most points with the best combos. The end boss of every chapter is an actual raid boss where you're encouraged to play in a multiplayer fashion. Like other multiplayer gacha games like Sword Art Online Memory Defrag, rest in peace, Star Ocean Animesis, also rest in peace, Dragalia Lost and Grand Blue Fantasy, you open up a lobby and have people join. In World Flipper, up to 3 people can participate in the game, and you will all operate independently trying to kill the boss, but you all operate at the same time. There are obvious mechanics like try to hit the boss in specific areas to break them, or stop their casts to prevent a huge damage cast. Even if one of your characters managed to die, you can just mechanically hit the tombstone to revive them. And as per usual, stamina is only used by the lead who started the fight. So theoretically, you can play forever, alternating being the host and then jumping into other players' lobbies while you wait for your stamina to refresh. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, Nolar, how can you make a gacha game out of pinballs? Well, as I mentioned, the pinballs themselves are characters that you pull from the gacha. One of the most satisfying reasons to pull in a gacha is how the summon animations look, how they really amplify your excitement for a pending pull, or in this game's case, how fast you become disappointed by a missed fake out. This game has all of that in spades to me. Now let's talk about the rates. There's just a general pool banner at the moment, and it has a 5% chance of 5 stars, 25% chance of 4 stars, and 7% chance for 3 stars. Even though with every summon you do, you earn currency, it's not really a good pity system. For example, it costs 600 spend star slivers, with each summon you do gives 1. So a single summon gives you 1, a multi-summon gives you 10. The math works out to 60 multis for one featured 5-star unit. These slivers carry over, I assume, and so it's kind of like Dokkan's coins where you can continuously build up and buy a unit if you need to. But the currency can be used for other things such as armaments, which cost 400 spend star slivers, and generic dupe currency. And this leads me to one of the better parts of the gacha. Even though in typical gacha fashion, you want to have dupes, it's not absolutely necessary, as the game gives you plenty of opportunities to get the generic dupe currency through events and missions based on the JP version. Alright, now as positive of a review as I'm giving the game, I have some controversies to discuss. As with all gacha games, everyone wants to reroll to get the best start. Now, I personally think this game can be enjoyed from the gameplay, but there are people who want to min-max to their heart's content, so they'll spend the grueling process of re-rolling. On the JP server, this process takes anywhere from 2 to 3 minutes because there's a delete account button when you want to re-roll. Well, Cacao Games on the global side decided to remove that button entirely. That means you had to make several dummy email accounts to continue to re-roll, or you just deleted the game and re-downloaded it. This process can take a while, depending on your internet, because the game is about 3 gigabytes to download each time. If you have data caps, this will always count towards that, so this is not a friendly way to entice a new player base. The next part I want to talk about that is controversial is the thing of censorship. Here are some of the differences. To me, if you just show me the global version artwork, I wouldn't have noticed, but people have specific reasons to play or not play a game, so that is a consideration for most people. The last thing that has me a little worried is the game heavily promotes playing with other people. The issue here is that there are fragmented servers for the Americas, EU, JP, etc. You can't cross-play with people across different servers. If you want to promote people playing with each other, I find it counterintuitive to fragment the player base. As it stands, it takes me time to fill up an open lobby in the Americas, and this is at the launch of the game. So if they want to encourage a healthy player base, I believe they need to look into allowing people to have multiplayer lobbies across multiple servers, or combine everyone into one server. However, to be devil's advocate, I recognize that fragmented servers are probably necessary for the smooth gameplay overall. So damned if you do, damned if you don't. Overall, this pinball gacha game so far gets a stamp of approval. This is so much to enjoy here, from the fun, addicting gameplay, the great music, and the amazing artwork. Again, there are a few concerning things which remain to be seen how Cacao Games manages the game in the future. If you guys like this video, hit that like button and share with your friends. It really helps out the channel. Thanks a lot, everyone, and this has been Nolar giving you the first impressions of World Flipper. I'm out.